Hey, what's up Shopkeepers, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about dry run and what does it means. However, before we start into today's video, I actually wanted to give a special shout out to Seller, Alexander Seller. He's based in Serbia, and he has been a very supportive stream breeder as well. So I want to give him a special shout out because he has recently joined as a member of Stream Century, and definitely by joining the members, it really helps me in terms of making videos and things like that, because all the proceeds, all the funds are actually purchasing like mics and headsets, and recently I got this laptop. It costs $399, and I've been waiting for it for the last 7 months. I think that's important, and I really appreciate you guys' support as well. So today I actually wanted to give you guys about a topic about dry run and what does it really mean. So over here we can actually see that dry run means that we have to actually do a lot of things, like for example selective breeding and things like that. However, I break this down into 3 very big categories. It means one of them is fundamentals, the other one is technical, and then after that creation. So as we go into details in each and every one of them, you can actually see that in terms of fundamentals, why is fundamental so important? Because fundamental is where you learn about having a grow up tank, you learn about selective breeding, you learn about male to female ratio, you learn about how to actually identify male and female quite easily. So these are some of the things that we really need to be very good at in terms of being fundamentally sound. So with a strong base or a strong fundamental, then you start to learn through other things such as the technical stuff. The technical stuff, which means like you have to get into grading, right? Grading what kind of streams and how do you actually grade them. And these are all part and parcel of the dry run. So grading, setting up of new tanks, resetting. Don't be afraid of resetting your tanks, and the more you do, the better you get. So I think that's where a lot of people wants to get to the top quickly and do not want to understand the process and learn about the fundamentals. So it actually took me about 3 to 5 years, maybe about 3 to 5 years to really learn about the fundamentals of stream breeding. And there's really no shortcut. Like for example, you can even use streams such as PRL or 4BAM PBL, a very basic streams to actually learn through the fundamental process. Like for example, you can use PBL to learn about selective breeding. You can also use the same exact stream to learn about male to female ratio, male and female identification. So these are very fundamental stream breeding or stream breeding things that you need to know in order to advance to the next step, where you get more technical in terms of how do you actually grade them after you do selective breeding. So after you do selective breeding, you have a lot of streams in the tank and you want to do selective breeding, so you start to grade them, and then you start to see and which are the ones that you actually want. So with that, you cannot be afraid of doing a lot of dry runs. So actually the dry runs are actually getting you a lot of practice. You can do like I say, your PBL and things like that, and then after that you move on to maybe red stardust, black stardust, and then more and more higher level streams, and then after that you get to snowfall and things like that. So there is no shortages of streams that you can actually use to learn from this. Like even Black Ninja, I think it's a very fundamental stream. It's a very simple stream that you can actually use it to actually learn with all this. Even streams like orange eye tigers, very basic, like blondes or orange eye tigers. They are very simple stream, but how do you keep them well? How do you make them thrive? So these are some of the questions that you have to ask yourself. How do you actually make them better? So in that sense, so after learning about the fundamentals and the technicals of things, and then you can start to learn and create. So that's where the creations starts from. That is where you take past standards and innovation, you actually kind of like combine them together, and then you create a new standard for yourself. A new standard, it actually prepares you for the real thing in that sense, because when you are trying to set a new standard, you have to know what are some of the past standards, right? You know what are past, and then you've got a new standard that you want to create. And then by not giving in to the standards, it actually helps to drive innovation. And the reason is because that it allows new process in the hobby, and then it's also a simpler way to maybe breed streams. Like for example, we have migrated from using plastic floats to no floats, and now back to stainless steel floats. I think that's where, you know, the cycle or the progress actually happens, where we actually move from one to the other. It takes time. It takes us maybe 4 years to actually even think about, because every year there is so much you can actually do, right? And all these incremental steps actually helps breeders around the world to achieve a balance between work, family, and the hobby itself. Because at the end of the day, we cannot neglect any of those because of the hobby, and that's the reason why we are always looking through and seeing that how can we actually improve in terms of the process, and how do we breed better streams. Like for example, the use of the calyx ball, the use of the blending of the calyx ball, the blending. So up to today, I'm still packing them one by one by hand, and I have often remind myself that it is very important, because I use it myself, and it is a very tedious process to actually pack them individually, and making sure that everyone meets the standard. So with that, all these dry runs, I think that is to prepare you for better things to come. So do not shy away from resetting your tanks more often than not. Do not shy away from moving all the babies into another grow-up tank. I think it's also, you don't have to be shy away from selecting and culling strictly. And I think that is where a lot of people feel that, okay, they're still stream, they are still nice, what can I do with them? I mean, culling stream doesn't mean that you have to throw the stream away or feed them to the other fishes. Culling the streams could be putting them in a planted tank, and that's also a way of doing it. Putting them in a planted tank, donating to schools, doing it as a project and giving it away. I think these are all ways to actually help breeders start the process and start the stream keeping hobby. I think all in all, we should not shy away from all these dry runs, because all these dry runs will eventually lead us up into where we want to actually achieve in terms of our goals and our aspiration in terms of from a stream breeding perspective. Yeah, so I think that's all for this video. I really hope that you guys actually enjoy and learn something out of it. So for those who like this video, please remember to give a thumbs up, and for those who are new, please remember to subscribe. And until next time, peace out.